Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brazelton, Georgia, and round 3 of the B-Main Bandits Summer Series, featuring the cars and the stars of the Outlaw Micro Sprints and Midgets. Final qualifying is just wrapping up, and your order looks like this. Jackson McLean, quick time tonight, 14.539. 19 total cars checked in for this evening's event. And we're going to get straight into our heat race action. Heat race number 1 rolling out onto the speedway now. 7 cars going for 8 laps. Starting on the pole is going to be the 018 of Brandon Garman out of Jacksonville, Illinois. To his outside will be the 72 of Craig Sheeran out of Sydney, Australia. Inside of row number 2 is going to be the 31 of Andrew Thornton out of Granbury, Texas. To his outside, the Wonder Boy, Jackson McLean out of Paris, Tennessee in the 81. Inside of row number 3, the 69 of Austin Thornton out of Joplin, Missouri. To his outside, the Maniac, Matt Moniak out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And rounding out the field is going to be the 88 of Mason Coffey out of Winfield, Missouri. In seasons past, Lanier National Speedway has shown us some of the better racing we'll see all season long. Let's see if we can keep the status quo tonight as Garman and Sheeran lead us to the green flag. Off turn number 4, we're racing. 8 laps for heat race number 1 at Lanier. Garman goes straight to the high side. Sheeran trying to split the difference in the middle. Thornton on the low side. McLean up in 4th, running the high side as well. Coffey all the way to the cushion trying to pass Thornton. He's going to get it in lap number 1. Sheeran throws the slider. Garman crosses him back over. Thornton and McLean in tow. Mason Coffey with the full send suicide slider. Right rear tire to the left front of Andrew Thornton. He crosses him back over, maintains 3rd on lap number 2. Moniak throws a slide job on McLean and makes it work. Sheeran goes for the slider. Thornton with the short slider across the nose of Coffey. Perhaps an answer back from the earlier slide job. Big slide job for Sheeran. Garman's going to hop the right rear tire, and that's going to bring out a yellow. There we go, coming back to green, going to be 4 to go at the stripe. Craig Sheeran leads the field into turn 3 and 4. Andrew Thornton and Mason Coffey right on his tail. Back under green, halfway through this heat race. Sheeran's going to stay out front. Mason Coffey battling for the 2nd spot. He's going to throw the long slider for 2nd place. Thornton tries to cross him back over. Not enough momentum. Sheeran protects with the slider line against Coffey. Got a good battle going up front here in this one. Coffey to the cushion. Thornton down low. Sheeran up high. McLean on the cushion as well. 2 laps to go. Coffey's out of fuel and down pit road. Craig Sheeran and Andrew Thornton out front. Jackson McLean inherits the 3rd spot. Matt Moniak, Garman, and Austin Thornton battling out in the back. White flag is out one more time around. Thornton working the low side, trying to see if he's got anything for Sheeran. Out of turn number 4, Craig Sheeran's going to win heat race number 1. Andrew Thornton in 2nd, Jackson McLean 3rd, Matt Moniak 4th, Brandon Garman in 5th, Austin Thornton in 6th, and Mason Coffey rounds out your field of 7. Rolling straight into heat race number 2. Starting on the pole is going to be the gray auto number 06 of Rylan Gray. To his outside, going to be the number 67 DCR machine of Evan Dawson. Inside of row number 2, Mr. I Can't Turn on Dirt, coming to you out of Hudson, North Carolina, the 08 of Richie Joplin. To his outside, the SSR Elite representative, the number 21 of Bruce Klingen. Inside of row number 3, making his B-Main Bandits Midget debut tonight, it's going to be the 92J of Justin Swafford. And rounding out the field, also making his debut with the B-Main Bandits Racing League, is going to be Mike Mennes out of Bakersfield, California in the 30. Gray and Dawson lead the field into turn 3. Out of turn number 4, we're on the loud pedal. Heat race number 2 is green here at Lanier. Gray wasted no time, right to the high side, riding the cushion. Dawson diamond cuts the corner, gets a run down the back straightaway. Big slide job for the lead already. Gray crosses right back over side by side at the stripe for lap number 1. Dawson and Gray still going at it for the lead. A lot longer slide job from Dawson that time. Gray crosses right back over side by side once again. 2 laps in the books, and it's still a white knuckle battle up front. Gray's going to clear him this time. Blocks the run with the tail tank. Give lap 3 to Ryland Gray. Bruce Klingen loving this battle up front. Every time they slow up, he catches them just a little bit more. Richie Joplin holding his own there in the 4th spot. Back up front, Evan Dawson still trying to find a way to get a run on Gray and make it stick. 3 laps to go this time. Single filed out a little bit around the Lanier National Speedway. Dawson sticking to that diamond line, trying to run where there's some grip. Gray sailing it about 2/3 the way up the racetrack and making it work for him. Top 3 all up on the high side, make that the top 4. Joplin running the same line as well. Coming down to the white flag for the 06 of Ryland Gray. Last time we saw him in a midget, he dominated the Kern race, set quick time, won his heat race, and won the A main event. Didn't get quick time tonight, but he is going to get a heat race win. Ryland Gray wins heat race number 2. Evan Dawson 2nd, Bruce Klingen 3rd, Richie Joplin 4th, Justin Swafford, last car on track, Mike Minnie's in the pit area, rounds out your 6-car field. 3rd and final heat race coming up for your B-Main Bandits Midget Series. Starting on the pole out of Anadarko, Oklahoma is going to be the number 98 of Wreckin' Ryan Paget. To his outside, Joey Smith out of LaPorte, Texas, the B-Main Bandits 5150 Racing Machine number 50. Inside of row number 2, supposed to be the 13 of Joseph Johnson. There he is. A little bit of a connection issue. His outside, coming to you out of Medhill, Scotland, the number 56 of Kyle O'Donnell. Inside of row number 3, making his B-Main Bandits midget debut tonight, number 22 out of West Melbourne, Florida, is going to be Scott Snodgrass. And rounding out the field out of Peterborough, England, the number 57 representing Premier Setups, the 57 of Dan Dixon. Ryan Paget, Joey Smith lead the field into turn 3, out of turn number 4. Paget wasted no time when the truck went down. Paget right to the cushion. Johnson giving chase through the middle. Johnson slides Paget. Ooh, Paget hops the right rear tire. Smith gets into the back of him, and we keep them all pointed the right direction, and we keep going. Battle up front, Kyle O'Donnell puts a slide job on Johnson. And don't look now, Dan Dixon now in 3rd. Premier Setups has all 3 cars in the front of this heat race. O'Donnell wheel to wheel with Johnson out of turn number 4. This time O'Donnell's going to lead the lap. Johnson to the cushion, starts to cross him back over. Fires it into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4, O'Donnell with the run on the bottom once again. But give it to Johnson that lap. 4 down, 4 to go halfway through this heat race. O'Donnell and Johnson wheel to wheel, trying to duke it out and get the heat race win. Both cars down low. Dixon sends it up a little bit higher, trying to gain a little bit of momentum on the top 2. O'Donnell all the way over on top of the transition. Little bit of contact between Johnson and O'Donnell. Still upright, still going the right direction. Dixon with the run off the bottom. 3 wide momentarily for the lead. And it's going to be 3 wide, coming to the white flag. One more lap to go. Kyle O'Donnell led the lap. Dixon in second, Johnson in third. 3 wide down the back straightaway for the lead. As we work into 3 and out of 4, Paget with the suicide slide. All for nothing. 3 wide finish to the checkered. Johnson's going to get the win. Dixon second, O'Donnell third, Paget fourth, and cleans out the entire field post-race. That'll wrap up heat race action for the Midgets. And now we'll move on to our Micro Sprint A main event from earlier this afternoon. Rolling straight into our Outlaw Micro Sprint A main, on the pole is going to be the Maniac, Matt Moniak. To his outside, league owner Andrew Thornton in the 31. Inside row number 2, the 69 of Austin Thornton. To his outside, Ryan Paget in the 98. Dusty Fincher starting inside of row number 3. Joey Smith to his outside. Sam Reed inside of row number 4. And starting to his outside, going for 3 straight podium finishes with the Outlaw Micros this season, is going to be the 81 of Jackson McLean out of Paris, Tennessee. Inside row number 5, going to be the 51 of Dennis Holly. To his outside, Scott Snodgrass out of Florida, his first race with us this season. Also, Mr. I Can't Turn on Dirt, Richie Joplin makes an appearance. To his outside, Mr. Rylan Gray, number 06. And rounding out the field, going to be the 92J of Justin Swafford. Your starting lineup is set. 13 cars going for 30 long laps around the 3/8 mile Lanier National Speedway. Matt Moniak and Andrew Thornton lead the field slowly into turn number 3, out of turn number 4. Pace car is off. Moniak gets a great jump, catches Thornton sleeping. Green flags in the air. We're racing here at Lanier. As you see immediately, almost 3 and 4 wide coming out of turn 2 for position all through the field. Fincher on the low side, Thornton up high, Paget trying to split the difference through the middle. Whole gaggle of cars as we complete lap number 1. Moniak continues to lead, Paget all the way at the bottom, the Thornton brothers side by side on the high side. Sam Reed gets sideways, gathers it up, keeps it pointed the right direction. We're going to stay green. Dusty Fincher going almost all the way up to the cushion. That is a long way around this racetrack. Moniak's off the pace. Fincher's into him, as is McLean, and they catch Holly, and he goes for a ride. Caution flag is out. See, Moniak gets off the pace. Just a chain reaction. Holly, an innocent bystander, nowhere to go. Sam Reed comes in and cleans out Jackson. They're right at the very end of this whole incident. See how many are able to re-rack and restack. We're going back to green. Matt Moniak, Austin Thornton, Andrew Thornton, all in line. As pace car dives off, Moniak grabs a footful. We're back under green once again, coming to lap number 4. Austin Thornton wasting no time, going up to the high side, going to try to carry the momentum down the back straightaway to challenge Moniak for the lead. Both Thornton boys throwing their hat in the ring. Moniak defends against older brother Andrew on the low side. Meanwhile, hands the lead over to Austin Thornton, who's really hauling the mail on the high side. Fincher, the only other car running the same line up top. Thornton clears Moniak. Shuts down the run of Fincher slightly. Thornton boys are 1-2. Moniak third for the moment. Fincher looks like he goes to diamond cut the corner, and Paget and Moniak get together. That's going to bring out another yellow. As we'll see on the replay, Matt Moniak tries to run through the middle. Paget has a big run on the bottom and gets into Moniak, turns him around. Coming back to green, 5 laps down, 25 to go. The Thornton boys 1-2, Dusty Fincher in third. Austin with a great jump. He goes right back to the high side. Andrew goes to the bottom, and Andrew gets a run there side by side down the back straightaway for the lead. Into turn number 3, Austin stays high. Andrew goes low, slips the grip just a little bit. Austin carrying the momentum. Still wheel to wheel at start finish line for the lead. A little bit of a slider line from Andrew this time. Wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Andrew throws the slider, kind of bullies him up out of the way. Still wheel to wheel. Andrew leads that lap. Sticking with that slider line. Austin sticking with the momentum on the high side. Into turn number 3. Slider line once again. Austin not taking the bait to try to cross him over just yet. As there you see the switch. Thornton throws the slider line. Austin goes to the bottom. Andrew crosses him right back over. Wheel to wheel once again back into turns 3 and 4. Austin slips the grip. Not once but twice through 1 and 2. Now Andrew with a comfortable lead. Austin falls back into the clutches of Joey Smith. Now you got a race for the second spot. Smith running the Houston Oilers tribute car. He's trying to run that low line, see if he can get a run on Austin. Austin's deviated his line a little bit to a slider as well. Now they're wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Smith staying low. Austin going all the way to the cushion. Side by side gives second place to Smith that lap. Got a great battle going on up front. And Smith gets into the wall. Austin gets in the back of him. Smith goes around, and that's going to be our third caution. Coming to the restart with 18 to go. Andrew Thornton sets the pace. Ryan Paget second. Rylan Gray in third. Thornton immediately to the slider line to try to protect against Paget. Paget with a little bit of a run on the high side. Got a race for the third spot going on between Rylan Gray and Richie Joplin. Still claims he can't drive on dirt. Currently holding the spot solidly in the top 5. Now the race is on for the second spot as Gray sets his sights on Paget and goes to the inside. Thought about the short slider. Kind of runs out of room getting to the tail tank of Thornton. Got 15 laps to go. Officially halfway through the race. And now we got a 3-way race for the lead. Rylan and Paget both throw the slider on Thornton. Thornton turns down the racetrack, grabs some gravity, tries to cross him back over. Paget's going to lead. Thornton second, Gray in third. Still 3 wide as we're going to have another yellow. Yellow flag is going to come out for the 22 of Scott Snodgrass, making his first start with us this season. Gets up to the top, spins out, nowhere for Austin Thornton to go, and gets absolutely clobbered by the 101 of Fincher. That's going to bring out our 4th yellow. Ryan Paget going to lead the field back to green with Thornton and Gray in tow. Rylan Gray follows Andrew Thornton to the bottom. Both drivers trying to get a run on Paget. Paget keeps the momentum on the high side. Richie Joplin still lurking behind, battling with Joey Smith, trying to pick up a podium finish. 12 laps to go this time by Gray to the high side. Thornton still battling on the bottom. Gray's going to clear him. The race right now on the track for the 4th spot between Richie Joplin and Joey Smith. Paget continues to lead as we come to 11 laps to go. Richie carrying some momentum, starting to clear Smith on the high side. Rylan Gray has caught the back bumper of your leader with 10 to go. He goes to the inside of Paget. We got a race for the lead. Now Rylan Gray with the lead down the back straightaway. Paget fires the slider across his nose. Gray crosses him right back over. 9 laps to go. Paget with the big slider. Gray carries the momentum and Paget starts fading back. Thought about the slider, thought better of it into turn 3 and 4. The suicide slide from Paget. Nothing doing. Gray's going to take off and leave him. Coming down 7 laps to go. 2 more times around for the 06 of Rylan Gray. Has stretched his lead to over a second and a half over Ryan Paget. Joey Smith runs in third, Thornton in 4th. Both Thornton boys running out the top 5. White flag is out 1 more time around for Rylan Gray. Won the midget feature at Kern. Has no competition to the checkered. Rylan Gray going to pick up his 2nd feature win of the summer series with the B-Main Bandits. So for the 2nd time this season, your A feature winner is going to be Rylan Gray in the 06. Ryan Paget out of Anadarko, Oklahoma in the 98, going to be P2. And rounding out your podium tonight, Joey Smith out of LaPorte, Texas, claims he has no idea what he's doing, so he lucks out into a podium finish. Overall, round 3 for the Outlaw Micro Sprints ended up being a war of attrition, but an exciting race nonetheless. Rylan Gray, Ryan Paget, and Joey Smith, your podium. The Thornton boys round out the top 5. Justin Swafford in his B-Main Bandits debut ends up 6th. Mr. I Can't Turn on Dirt, Richie Joplin brings it home in 7th. Scott Snodgrass in 8th. Matt Moniak in 9th. Dusty Fincher rounds out the top 10. Sam Reed in 11th. Jackson McLean with the early exit in P12. And rounding out the field is going to be the 51 of Dennis Hawley. Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime for round 3 of the B-Main Bandits Midget League. A feature time, and let's meet our starting lineup. Starting shotgun on the field tonight, coming to you out of Winfield, Missouri. Going to be the DCR number 88 of Mason Coffey. Starting outside of row number 9 tonight, making his B-Main Bandits Midget debut. Coming to you out of West Melbourne, Florida, is going to be the number 22 of Scott Snodgrass. Inside of row number 9, also making his B-Main Bandits debut tonight. Coming to you out of Bakersfield, California, the Mike M Designs number 30 of Mike Mennies. Starting outside of row number 8 tonight, coming to you out of Joplin, Missouri, the B-Main Bandits and AMT Racing Services number 69 of Austin Thornton. Starting to his inside, coming to you out of LaPorte, Texas, the B-Main Bandits at 5150 Racing number 50 of Joey Smith. Starting outside of row number 7 tonight, another B-Main Bandits debut. Going to be the 92J of Justin Swafford. Starting to his inside, representing SSR Elite, coming to you out of Jacksonville, Illinois, going to be 018 of Brandon Garman. Starting outside of row number 6 tonight, coming to you out of Anadarko, Oklahoma, the Aces Up Sim Sports Scott Thomason Racing number 98 of Reckon Ryan Paget. And to his inside, he's out of Hudson, North Carolina. The B-Main Bandits, How to Suck at iRacing, number 08, Mr. I Can't Turn on Dirt, Richie Joplin. Getting into your top 10 starters tonight. Outside of row number 5, the number 3 machine making his midget debut for the season. It's going to be the Maniac, Matt Moniak from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And to his inside, coming to you from across the pond, representing Premier Racing Setups out of Medhill, Scotland. That's going to be the 56 of Kyle O'Donnell. Outside of row number 4 tonight, all the way from the other side of the world, the number 72 is going to be Craig Sherham out of Sydney, Australia. And to his inside, last time you saw him, he won the midget feature. He won the Outlaw Micro Sprint A main earlier tonight, the number 06 of Rylan Gray. Starting outside of row number 3, another first-timer with the B-Main Bandits Racing Series, representing Premier Racing Setups, is going to be the number 13 of Joseph Johnson. Getting into your top 5 starters tonight. Inside of row number 3, coming to you out of Granbury, Texas, the AMT Racing B-Main Bandits, number 31, the league owner, Andrew Thornton. Starting outside of row number 2, last weekend he ended up on the podium in his debut. We'll see how he does in race number 2 for him. It's going to be the 67 of Evan Dawson. Starting inside of row number 2 tonight in the 3rd position, coming to you out of Peterborough, England, representing Premier Racing Setups, is going to be the 57 of Dan Dixon. And to your front row, on the outside, coming to you out of Paris, Tennessee, the B-Main Bandits, Jackson McLean Racing, number 81 of the Wonder Boy, Jackson McLean. And his inside, your pole sitter tonight, coming to you out of Troy, Indiana, representing SSR Elite, is going to be the 21 of Bruce Klingon. Got 19 cars tonight going for 30 laps around the Lanier National Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 3-wide virtual thrill ride of the B-Main Bandits Midget League. As the Field works into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4, Bruce Kling and Jackson McLean going to lead us to the green. Green flags out. We're racing here at Lanier. Klingen immediately to the high side. Dixon trying to work the slow side, brings McLean to the top side. Dan Dixon going for the lead on lap number 1, slides up in front of Klingen, and he's going to get it lap number 1. Klingen going to answer back with a slide job of his own. 3 and 4 wide racing throughout the pack. Dixon currently leading, McLean now second, Klingen third, Andrew Thornton rolling the bottom in 4th. Rylan Gray wasting no time trying to make his way through the field. Joseph Johnson battling connection issues in the 13 machine. Jackson McLean makes a big slide for the lead, but Dixon crosses him back over and leads the lap. Jackson McLean with the run down on the inside. Slide job. Doesn't have the momentum, doesn't clear it. Side by side at the line, coming to lap number 5. Down the back straightaway, once again, McLean lines up, fires the slide job, leaves a lane up top. Dixon rolling the cushion, making it tough to get around him. Andrew Thornton in third, rolling the bottom of the speedway, playing the patience game. This time McLean comes all the way up. He's going to lead lap number 6. Dixon staying to the high side where he's comfortable. Thornton through the middle this time. Diamond cuts it just a little bit as we're going to have a yellow flag. First yellow flag of the night coming out for Matt Moniak. Big slide job. Craig Sheeran with nowhere to go puts him in the fence. He goes for a tumble. That'll bring out our first yellow of the evening. So here we go, coming back to green. Jackson McLean, your leader. Dan Dixon in second. Andrew Thornton in third. McLean fires. We're back underway here at Lanier. Jackson goes straight to the slider line. Dixon rolling the high side. Trying to stick with momentum as McLean goes to the cushion and stays there this time. Rylan Gray slides Klingen for the 4th spot. Joseph Johnson still fighting those connection issues. Blinking like a strobe light at a rave. Andrew Thornton working the low side of the speedway, trying to challenge McLean for the lead. He's got Dixon for second that time. The yellow flag is out once again. Second yellow of the night going to be Bruce Klingen in the 21. Bunch of contact. Joseph Johnson gets into Klingen, runs him in the fence, and Klingen goes for a ride. Here we go, coming back to green. Jackson McLean, Dan Dixon, Andrew Thornton, Rylan Gray, and Evan Dawson, your top 5. We're back underway. Take a ride with Rylan Gray here around the Lanier National Speedway. Throwing the slider for position, trying to get the momentum on Dixon. He's going to throw the slider for P2. You can hear Dixon coming. Down the low side. Gray stays on the cushion, and he's going to keep P2. 4 wide for second place. That time at the start-finish line. McLean is loving this 5-car battle for the second place back. Dawson and Gray split O'Donnell each way. 4 wide out of turn number 2 once again. Coffey up top, Rylan and O'Donnell in the middle, Thornton on the bottom. Rylan Gray still trying to work the high side of the speedway. Kyle O'Donnell holding on to the second spot for the time being. O'Donnell and Thornton, only 2 cars rolling the bottom consistently. Yellow flags out once again. Looks like Scott Snodgrass involved. Caution coming out for the 22 of Snodgrass. Rolling the high side of the speedway with Swafford. Gets into the front straightaway wall by himself. Goes for a tumble right in front of our leaders. Look like everybody successfully splits him. Minimal damage done. Good luck at the draw there, Scott. Here we go, coming back to the green flag. Jackson McLean, your leader. Rylan Gray in second. Kyle O'Donnell third. Mason Coffey fourth. Andrew Thornton in the fifth spot. Back underway halfway through this race at Lanier. O'Donnell and Thornton go right to the bottom. Gray and Coffey right to the high side, trying to catch Jackson McLean. Nobody wanted to see that caution less than McLean. Gray rolling on the high side has P2 for the moment. Coffey right on his tail tank. O'Donnell still trying to work the low side of the speedway, as is McLean now. Yellow flag out once again. Third caution of the night coming out for the 08 of Richie Joplin. Paget throws the slide job on him. Just kind of a tough racing deal there. Joplin gets into Smith, who luckily seems to be able to gather it up. Knocks the front end out of Joplin's car. Here we go, coming back to green. McLean, Gray, O'Donnell, Coffey, Thornton, your top five. Pace truck dives down. McLean's on the loud pedal. We're racing once again. Mason Coffey sails it right up to the high side using the momentum. Got a big run at the top three. Take a ride with Coffey. Close quarters with O'Donnell that time by. Real close with Rylan Gray. Got a dog fight going here for the top five. Big slide job that time. Seems like he clears everybody. Jackson McLean still managing to hang on to the top spot. Yellow flags out once again. Yellow flag going to be charged to Reck and Ryan. Paget gets into both Garmin and Klingon and Smith and the wall. And Scott Snodgrass, nowhere to go on the brakes through the slick, gets into him as well. Coming back to green with around 10 to go. McLean, Coffey, Gray, O'Donnell, Thornton, your top five. Green flags in the air once again. We got 10 to go here at Lanier. Gray throws the slide job on Coffey, try to block the run, and Coffey crosses him back over. McLean trying to roll the bottom side of the speedway. Coffey still sending it up on the high side. O'Donnell and Thornton battling for position on the low side. That is the race for the podium spot. Gray's on the fence, keeps it pointed the right direction. Austin Thornton now rotating and rotating around the bottom as well. Coffey with the run on McLean on the high side. This time by, we will have 7 laps to go. Give the lead that time to the 88 of Mason Coffey, all the way from the tail of the field up to the lead. McLean with a slight connection issue. Ryan Paget in danger of becoming lap traffic. Coffey blocks the slide job from McLean. McLean stays on the bottom. He's got it down the back straightaway. Kyle O'Donnell has now switched lanes in the third spot. He's up high as well. And the yellow flag's going to come out, albeit way, way too late. Andrew Thornton involved. Looks like David Garmin was stuck down on the inside. Caution coming out with 5 laps to go. Andrew Thornton on the low side. David Garmin right in the racing lane at the bottom. Gets in contact with Gray. Knocks the front end out of the car. Heartbreak for the 31 machine. There you go. Coming back to green. Should have 4 laps to go once we go green. McLean, Coffey, O'Donnell, Gray, and Austin Thornton. Now your top 5. Green flags back in the air. Let's go race them one more time. Gray with the suicide slide, tries to go 2 for 1, doesn't make it happen, picks up the 3rd spot. Mason Coffey still working the high side. McLean down low. 2 laps to go. Coffey with the right rear tire up on the wall, basically. McLean on the bottom side of the speedway. We're coming down. It's going to be a drag race. 1 more lap around Lanier. McLean on the bottom, Coffey up top. Coffey with the momentum. Into turn number 3, out of turn number 4. Tale of 2 lines. Who's going to get it? Jackson McLean's going to get it by a car length. Mason Coffey in 2nd. Kyle O'Donnell 3rd. Rylan Gray 4th. Austin Thornton rounds out the top 5. And your feature winner tonight, coming to you out of Paris, Tennessee, the Jackson McLean Racing B-Main Bandits, number 81 of the Wonder Boy, Jackson McLean. P2 tonight, all the way from the 19th starting spot, the DCR number 88 of Mason Coffey. And rounding out your podium tonight out of Medhill, Scotland, the UK 56 of Kyle O'Donnell. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here from the Lanier National Speedway. Your official finishing order looks like this. Jackson McLean, the 81, going to be your winner tonight. Mason Coffey, Kyle O'Donnell round out your podium. Rylan Gray and Austin Thornton ran out the top 5. Evan Dawson, Bruce Klingon, Craig Sheeran, Matt Moniak, and Mike Mennies round out the top 10. Andrew Thornton making his way back up to the 11th spot after the late race caution. Ryan Padgett, Justin Swafford, Joey Smith, and Brandon Garman round out your top 15. Scott Snodgrass, Richie Joplin, Dan Dixon, and Joseph Johnson round out your field of 19 cars here tonight at the Lanier National Speedway. Sure hope you enjoyed tonight's racing action, and we hope to see you next week as we go from the biggest track on the schedule to the smallest. Next week, the cars and the stars of the Outlaw, Micro Sprints, and Midgets invade the Millbridge Speedway next Tuesday night, and we'll see you then.